can reach a resolve with his American counterpart soon, he may stand a better chance for re-election and in turn buy more time to make amends with Iran's arch-enemy. Ali Reza Ronaqi, Al Jazeera, Tehran.
Well, Jason Johnson is a political science professor from Hiram College in Cleveland, Ohio. He specializes in American politics and elections, and he joins me now live. So White House Press Secretary Robert Gibbs gave the administration a B+ for its first 100 days in office. Do you agree with that assessment?
I think it depends on what area you're looking at. When it comes to economic policy, they've definitely earned a B+. When it comes to perhaps civil liberties, maybe a C. International relations, maybe an A. But I think we'll have a bit more time to see how well Obama does in all those areas.
Well, exactly. I mean, can you really measure a presidency in the first 100 days?
You really can't. And if you look at past presidencies, the first 100 days of the Bush administration, we had a U.S. spy plane go down in China. The first 100 days of Reagan's presidency, he was shot and hostages were returned from Iran. And all of those things, they may have been interesting in the first 100 days, but they didn't tell us much about the next 8 years. And so right now, I think people are kind of jumping to conclusions if they think they can read all of Obama's plans from just 100 days.
Initially, Barack Obama's team dismissed the milestone. I think his chief strategist, David Axelrod, described it as a hallmark holiday. Now they seem to have embraced it. They've scheduled a primetime news conference. How do you explain this change in approach?
Barack Obama lives in a media-controlled society. As much as they want to sort of push aside the idea that the first 100 days matters, they can't control the fact that that's what the news cycle says is important. And I do think that right now there's a rush in the U.S. Congress to pass a very groundbreaking health care bill that Obama thinks that he'll be able to announce tonight at the press conference. So if the 100 days measure is what he's going to have to deal with, he's going to try and do the best he can with it.
But it is still all a bit artificial, isn't it? I mean, yes, he has started engagement with countries like Iran and Venezuela, but we can't judge these things now because we don't yet know what the outcome is going to be.
Right. Not only do we not know the outcome, but, you know, take an example, the swine flu. I mean, this just sort of popped up on the U.S. radar within the last week and a half. The presidency is a constantly evolving job, and therefore, to pick any particular period of time, you can't necessarily tell. What we can tell, though, a little bit is Barack Obama's attitude, and he seems to be a pragmatist. He's not the left-wing liberal that people thought he was during the campaign. He's not exactly a centrist. He is a pragmatist, and that's one thing we can tell after only 100 days.
So you're saying that he is more popular than his policies?
Oh, definitely. Barack Obama as the person is very similar to Jimmy Carter. People like him personally. They're not happy with his stimulus package. They're not happy with a lot of his economic plans. The U.S. has incurred a tremendous amount of debt in both the bank bailout. We seem to be ground zero for the world economic global crisis right now. So people aren't happy with his policies, but Americans seem to have faith that Obama will actually see the country through these difficulties.
Jason Johnson, thank you very much indeed for your thoughts, your analysis. We'll return to Barack Obama's first 100 days after the break. He released these memos to show he's serious about stopping it. We look in depth at Obama's stance on torture.